Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. As you may know, I'm pregnant as shit. And yeah, I told people the day of my baby shower, and I kept it a secret for a while. People want to know why I kept it a secret, how I kept it a secret, how far I am, and all this. So I wrote down the questions that y'all asked me. I'm gonna try to answer all of them. And I'm gonna get ready. I'm gonna show y'all how I do my little makeup routine. Yeah, let me get situated, so I'll be back. Okay, I literally look like ass because I just woke up. It's 11 o'clock. But I've been meaning to film this or whatever, and I like haven't. Shit, you can see that hole in my wall. Okay, I'm like, okay, whatever. Anyway, I did that when me and Jack got in a fight. Well, anyway, so today I'm gonna be answering all y'all's questions because I know y'all have a bunch. I don't even like know where to start. I have some written down, but I also have to get ready because I have somewhere to go. So I'm gonna show y'all what like being pregnant is hard, and I have pains. So putting a full face on that's over with. So I'm gonna show y'all my skincare routine and what I do to, you know, throw this stuff on, and I'm gonna be answering questions while I do it. So the first question I have is it hard being a teen and pregnant? I mean, it's hard, like, I need to stop saying like, that's ridiculous, but you can't do anything. Like, I didn't really know how much stuff you couldn't do while you're pregnant. Your baby takes all your nutrients, so you feel dead inside for a while, and you can't do a lot of stuff that you would think that you could do. Like, I didn't even know half the shit you couldn't do, so I'm really glad I have my mom to be more ready. But anyway, I'm gonna give y'all a belly update and everything. Let me throw this on first. The first thing I ever do is I use this. You can use any kind of coconut oil, but for me, it's really moisturizing to my face. So I just put a little on. Okay, what was the first thing going through your mind when you found out? I was just like, oh my god, I just couldn't believe it. Like, I was in denial, really, I guess you could say. I mean, I don't know, it was just weird because I was 16. But I'm using toner. The first thing I put on, rose water, and the Burt's Bees is the best because their products are so natural. Like, they have Burt's Bees for babies, and that is all I plan on using. Who was the first person you told? Jack was the first person I definitely told, and then I told my mom. Who else was it? I think it was Alicia, and I didn't like go to Alicia and was like, oh, I'm pregnant. No, Alicia came over that night, and we went to Steak and Shake, and I was like, Alicia, I have to tell you something. And she was like, bitch, what? And I was like, are you sitting down? She was obviously sitting down. She's like, yes, I'm sitting down. What is it? And I was like, I'm pregnant. And she was like, no, you're not. Shut up. Because I would say stuff like that, you know, like us kidding, we'd all be like, yes, I'm pregnant, you know, whatever. But no, I was serious about it, and she didn't believe me, and I pulled out a picture of the pregnancy test. She was like, and it was just like, oh my god. But how do your parents feel? My mom is she's a very understanding person. She's a younger mom. She had me when she was walking. Yeah, no, she's really understanding. So I was not scared to tell her. I knew that if I was gonna tell anybody, it would definitely be her first. My dad, he's also really cool. He's not strict. I don't even think my dad has ever spanked me. Like, he's just an understanding person. He's really down to earth. He's cool. Me and him have not always had the best relationship, but this past 2 years, I guess, me and him have gotten pretty close. How did I tell my mom? Oh, okay. So me and Jack were hanging out, and with one of his friends, and we had like went to a party or something. Well, the next day, he was like, the next day, I told him, I kept telling him that my period was missed. And I have a period that only lasts 4 days. Like ever since I was in the 6th grade, I got my period when I was in the 6th grade. My period always just lasts 4 days, and I was like, okay, like someone freaking called me. Okay, anyway, next I'm using this. It's like daily hydration for your face. You can get it at Walmart. It's nothing crazy, but anyway. So I had told him that I thought my period was late, and he was like, I'm sure you're fine, like you're fine, Anna, because he always says I'm over dramatic whenever, so he didn't believe me. So anyway, days passed, and I remember I was supposed to get my period January 13th. No, it was supposed to end on January 17th or something like that. Well, January 19th comes, and I still have not had my period. And I'm like, Jack, my period is still not here. Like, in the back of my mind, I kind of knew that I was pregnant, but I was just like, I didn't believe it. I knew what I was going to do if I was pregnant. I knew that I was going to have an abortion. I knew that I was not ready for a baby. Like, I couldn't, because if you knew me in high school, or if you know me, I'm childish, I'm immature. I was, and I was a junior. Like, I couldn't. So we went to CVS. We got a pregnancy test, and he was like, when you get home, take it, because he had to take his friend home. And so he dropped me off at my house, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna take it, and then I'm gonna call you after I take it. I took the pregnancy test, and I remember I was sitting on the toilet, and I was just like, oh my God, what is this gonna say? And I never got off the toilet. I just sat there. I was so scared. And I like flipped it over, and it said positive, and I was like, oh my God. I was like, what? I was like, okay, I'm gonna call Jack and tell him. So I called Jack, and I was like, hey, and he's like, what does it say? And I was like, it says positive. And he was like, really? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, what are we gonna do? And we had already talked about like not keeping it, and I was like, yeah, no, like we're not gonna keep it. And it just didn't seem right. Also, this is my favorite thing in the world, but and I just didn't think that, you know, I could do that because of how immature and stupid I was. Yeah, so that's how I told Jack. That's how I found out I was pregnant. How did you decide the name of your baby? Okay, so the name of my baby, okay, I should probably get this. There's so many questions. What gender am I having? I'm having a girl. I wanted a boy, but I'm perfectly fine with having a girl as long as my baby's healthy, everything's fine, then I'm good to go. But I'm having a little girl. Her name's Penelope Lake Denson. Yes, I'm giving her Jack's last name. Me and Jack chose the name in Panama. He took me, we went to Panama with a bunch of my friends. I think we was listening to Mixed Personalities by Melly. So ghetto. Don't come for me in the comments, because I don't know, but we listened to the song, and he said, you know, Penelope in the song, and I was just thinking about it, whatever. And then we went to this like 99-cent store, and we were looking at these old they had name tags, and I saw the name tag Penelope, and I was just like, oh my God, I really like that name. Like, I don't, like, every time that I heard that name, I liked it, and I was like, okay, it's Penelope. When we were sitting there in the Chili's parking lot in Panama, I was like, what about Penelope? And he's like, I like that. And I was like, me too. We took the last part of her name, Penelope. Lopi is what she's gonna be called, Lopi. And then I was like, I love that. But my baby's gonna be confused because my Nana said she's calling her Penny. My dad said they're calling her Lake. I don't even know. I just hope she's not confused, because that poor baby's not gonna know what her name is. Yeah, that's the name. Her name was gonna be Wednesday, but we couldn't find a name. Oh, I couldn't find a nickname for it, and I was just like, okay, this is too much. So I never do my eyebrows ever. I'm just gonna barely go over them, but usually I don't do them. I told Jack Penelope. He loved it, and because we could not decide on a name, because we thought it was a boy at first, and we were gonna name him Blaze. That's what I picked out, but Jack wanted to name him after his dad. And we just got into so many arguments over the boy's name. Like, we could not settle on a boy's name. So thank God we're having a girl. He kind of let me pick out the name, so I'm happy. So, was this planned? This was not planned. Do not think this was planned, because it was not. I would have rather finished high school. Or just, you know, like, I'm a senior now. Like, I could have, if this just happened a year later, or That would have been a lot easier, but I'm not complaining. I'm very happy, and I really don't have any regrets as to anything. I was really depressed back in like January, I guess, because I had friends, but I felt like I didn't have anybody. Like, you know, I was in high school, I thought everybody was fake, and people were like, okay, so another thing, or this is something that I'm gonna talk about, the rumors. Oh my gosh, I heard so many rumors about me being pregnant, so many, and I was just like, what? Because I had told people at my school, I had told like my little friend group, and oh, I knew them hoes told too, and it sucks because I'm friends with them today, and I've forgiven them. I'm like, whatever, you know, that's a pretty big secret. But some of my friends, they kept their word, and they didn't say nothing. They didn't tell nobody nothing. On the other hand, some people decided to run their mouth, and so the whole school was, for like months, was on the edge on if I was pregnant or not. And I was skinny, so you couldn't tell. And I was at school. I was getting so sick. Like, I puked. My whole pregnancy, I puked every day. I still puke. And it was getting to the point where I couldn't hide it anymore. And so I decided, I was like, I can't do this. I had too much anxiety and depression, and I didn't know what to do. I was 16 and I was confused. I'm going in with the Revolution. This is the Conceal and Define Full Coverage Foundation. This is pretty good. Whatever. Yes, next question. What's the scariest part about being pregnant? Honestly, just knowing that a human is inside of you is a little bit supernatural to me. Like, it feels like an alien is inside my belly. Like, it's the only thing I can describe it. And when you ask pregnant people, like, what does this feel like? What does this feel like? And people tell you that they can't explain pregnancy, like, you really cannot explain the feeling. It's I don't know. It's weird. It's different. Like, and plus, because I was only 16 when I got pregnant, I'm 17 now. But you know, your body's not done growing. I'm not a woman. My body has not developed, and it's not done growing, and then something else wants to grow in me. It's obviously gonna be a harder and difficult, complicated pregnancy, you know? So I was seeing a high-risk doctor because of my age, I guess, and I don't know, it was just scary at first. I didn't even think that, really I was scared to tell people because I thought I was gonna lose my baby because, you know, I was so young, and my cousin had gotten pregnant the past year, and she was pregnant for 3 months and then lost her baby. And my friend was pregnant, she lost her baby, and I was just scared, and I was like, what if I tell people I'm pregnant and then I lose my baby? Like, that's just gonna be so hard on me. I just can't do it. So I was just like, no, this is just gonna be between me and my family, and I'm just gonna hold it out. And people are asking, how did I keep it a secret for so long? I didn't. People knew, obviously, because I had told some people, but other people just assumed. They didn't know nothing. Like, they didn't. There was no confirmation. There was no proof of anything. I did send one of my first ultrasounds to this girl, not saying any names, and she wanted to show everybody. On the Raiders team at school, I thought she was my friend. Mistakenly not. After I found that out, I was just like, okay, I'm not telling you shit anymore. Obviously, you can't be trusted. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna move on to another question. Are you starting YouTube as a career now? I want to do YouTube. Like, who wouldn't want to do YouTube? Like, I love YouTube. I love making content. I love making videos. I love singing. I love doing makeup. And me and Jack were talking, and he wants me to do it. He bought me a camera. I haven't used that camera because I don't have a laptop, and if you use a camera, it's just a little bit harder. So I'm gonna post me and my baby. I'm gonna do a labor and delivery vlog. I'm trying to think of what I'm gonna do. I know I'm gonna, since I didn't do like weekly updates of me being pregnant, but by the way, I'm going in with a Tarte. This is the, this is not the hydrating one. I love that one way better, but I mix these for my foundation. I don't put it all over my face, and I'm gonna show y'all some tricks, by the way. But anyway, how does your family feel? Like, my whole family together, most of y'all don't know this, but my grandpa's a preacher, and he has taken care of me my whole life. I have been raised in church, you know. Obviously, having a baby out of wedlock is something that the church is against, and that's not how they believe or whatever. When I told them, I waited a long time to tell them. I was like 4 or 5 months pregnant before I told them. I was scared. I was like, oh my God, they're literally gonna hate me. And I was just like, I can't do it. And my mom was like, Annie, you gotta do it. I was like, I can't tell him, I can't. Like, I'm not gonna tell him. But, and I knew my Nana, I knew that she would be happy, like, cause I'm her, say I'm the favorite, but I'm so the favorite, you know, like, you know when you know you're the favorite? Yeah, I'm definitely the favorite. And I should probably cut that out because people are gonna get mad, or someone's gonna get mad at my family that I said that. I got this brush from Ulta. I love it so much. It's good for anything. I use it for multiple different things. I always spray it before I, like, wipe my foundation because you don't want it dry and patchy, you know? What's your teen life like now? I don't really have a teen life anymore. My daily routine is waking up, being pregnant, taking my vitamins, taking my medicine. I don't go to parties anymore. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do the, you know, what the normal teen, I guess, well, that's not every normal teen, but I don't do, you know, stuff like that. It's very hard, and it really kills you. Like, I don't know how it is for other people, because never compare your birth or your pregnancy to another person's, because everybody is different. Like, my cousin and me got pregnant around the same time. Well, she already had her baby, but she was due July 8th, and she barely got sick. Well, she had a boy too, and they say that if you have a boy, you won't get sick. But she barely got sick, and she, you know, she had a pretty easy pregnancy. Me, I've had almost every complication you can think of. It's been literally a crazy ride. Okay, this looks so good mixed together, by the way. This is a good combination if you need a combo. And if you're asking why I don't do my nose, I don't put foundation on my nose. That's a trick to use it'll make your foundation look way more natural, and it'll make it look more smooth and less cakey, I guess you could say. Because these are both 2 full coverage foundations, and I don't like to put foundation all over my face, because through the day it is gonna sweat out. And I go in the front of my eyebrow with the foundation, like the excess, and I just do that. What's it feel like? Pregnancy is it just feels like an alien inside of your stomach. Like each week. Okay, so for me, every Friday I turn a different week. So sometimes every Friday I'll wake up and I'll feel bigger, or I'll notice my belly button came out more, or I'll notice that she's sitting more on a different side of me. Like, every week something changes. And after week 20, like, is when you like really start noticing changes. What are your feelings on your body changing so drastically? I was 135. Well, I've always been like 120. That's like, I've always stayed there. But Thanksgiving got me. The food got me. I gained a little pounds or whatever. I was 135 in January when I first got pregnant. And I'm 141 now. Like, oh my God, how? What? No. Okay, so this is what happened. And this is also, someone asked me what's the worst part about my pregnancy. This is it. So back in April, I was 4 months pregnant. Also, I'm gonna be using this for bronzer. And it was before we went to Panama. I was at my mom's house, or here, and I had woke up with these pains, and I was like, oh my God, what is this? It was really bad. Like, I I didn't know if I was having a miscarriage. I didn't know what was happening. It was this pain in my left hip, and I can't describe it. It was brutal, I guess, the only word you could say. Well, I was not going to the ER. No, I did not want to do that. So I was like, okay, let me just get in the bath. So I sat in the bathtub. That's always what I do when I'm hurting. Like, I get in the bath. And I ended up being in the bath for 12 hours. I'm not even exaggerating. I was like, oh my God, Mom. Like, I was screaming. It was bad. Well, my mom calls Jack and she's like, Jack, Anna is, I don't know what's going on with Anna. We're gonna have to take her to the emergency room. Jack came over and he picked me up and we all went to the emergency room, and they did a vaginal ultrasound, and they told me that I had a cyst on my ovaries. And my OB had told me that before, but she said it was really small, like, you know, nothing to worry about, whatever. And then when I went to the hospital, it was the size of a grapefruit, and it was huge. And she told me it was on my left ovary, and that's where I was hurting my left hip. So I was like, oh, makes sense, right? That's what I thought it was. Well, I had also failed to mention to them that I didn't use the bathroom for 3 weeks. And when I mean use the bathroom, I mean number 2, yes, obviously. And there was so much going on. Like, when I first got pregnant, like, I had so many emotions. I wasn't even thinking about if I went to the bathroom or not. Like, so she was doing the ultrasound, and they literally were holding me down. She was being harsh too. Like, girl was not being easy on me. And I was just sitting there crying, screaming. Also, for bacon, I'm using scariest. Don't use a lot of this because it will cake. So what I do is I pat a bunch on and then wipe it off. I don't really wait for it. At that point, they sent me back to a room and was like, okay, we're gonna get you some medicine. So they gave me morphine. And me and Jack were just sitting there. He was holding my hand, and I was crying. I was like, Jack, I don't know what to do. And see, me and Jack, this is me. I got pregnant the 2nd month of me and Jack dating. Yes, that says a lot. Whatever. Crazy. Oh my goodness. Whatever. Yeah, so me and Jack really, I mean, we knew each other, like, because we hung out before we dated, before we talked. I met him through one of my best friends, Candler. And, like, so I knew him. I had a little crush on him or whatever. We were new. And it was scary because, like, I didn't know if we were going to last. Like, I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know if he was going to leave me. If you look now, most girls' baby daddies are not with them. They don't talk to them. They don't care for them. Like, they're assholes is the only word that I can think of. And so I'm just really blessed to have him. Like, I really am. So then this is what happened. And they told me they was going to prescribe me hydros. So I got a prescription for hydros, and they knew I was pregnant. They told me it was fine to take while I was pregnant. And I was like, okay. They was like, just, you know, don't overdo it. So I went home. I took 1. And then 1 started coming to 2. 2 would be 3. 3 would be 4. And I was just eating them like candy because my pain was so unbearable. And on top of that, I was taking this medicine called Zofran. They give it to you if you throw up a bunch during your pregnancy, and I couldn't even keep water down. I could not stop throwing up. And the Zofran makes you constipated.
Hey, are you ready?
I'm almost done.
Well, your mother has invaded your filming time.
Well, no, move,
Where's
go.
it at?
Right here, what do you mean?
Hi, I am Anna's mother, yes. Do you see the beautiful baby? Of course not, but do you see where she gets her beauty from?
Mom, you need to go. Okay. Oh my God, you never get a break in this house. So, they give me the medicine or whatever. Well, if you don't know, opiates, like painkillers, they will constipate you, they will stop you up. And so I was constipated on top, because you get constipated when you're pregnant. That's just a no-brainer. But for me, it was times 10, because not only was I taking 2 Zofran a day, I was also taking hydros. So it was just rough. It was awful. So I went to my doctor, and then when I told them that I didn't shit for 3 weeks, they were like, are you crazy? I was like, I was like, is that bad? And they was like, you're growing a baby and you haven't shit and you have an ovarian cyst. Yeah, that's bad. Well, I wasn't thinking about it. Like, you get pregnancy brain. I swear that's a real thing. And I wasn't worried about it. Anyway, so they admitted me to the hospital after they found out I didn't use the bathroom. This is a flat top foundation brush, but I just like to pat in my skin and wipe the excess off. But anyway, so they admitted me to the hospital, and I was like almost 20 weeks, I think. So then they were like, you're gonna stay here till you shit. Well, they did everything. They tried enemas. I had 4 tubes of enemas of my. And that reminds me of that Vine about the jelly beans, but whatever. And I was just like, oh my god, like, this is not happening to me. Dr. Kim in there was like, I'm gonna put my fingers in, basically, and I was like, Mom, take me home, I don't want to do this. So I learned my lesson. But anyway, finally, I had to quit taking my Zofran too, so I would just puke my brains out, and I lost 20 pounds. Again, like when I said I'm 141 now, I started out 135. When I got sick like that, I dropped to 116. So that's why, so I've come pretty far now. I was super skinny, and people are like, how does that happen? How does that happen? You just drop weight, and that happens to a lot of people. If you throw up, you're gonna cut back on your weight. There's gonna be difficulties in your pregnancy. Oh, and this is the blush I'm using. But I have heartburn really bad. That's another thing, heartburn. Your baby will have some hair if you got heartburn, but damn, it really hurts. What baby stuff do you have so far? Just like normal stuff. I'm having 2 baby showers. My church is giving me one, and then my friends and family gave me one. I'm setting up her room now. Obviously you can see her stuff back there. But yeah, I'm getting it prepared. How far along am I? Everyone has asked this. Yesterday I was 35 weeks. I got hurt. So am I ready to be a mom? I'm so ready to be a mom. It comes so natural to me because I have a lot of sisters, and I helped raise them, and they're like, I can't be more happy. Like, I'm so in love with her. I don't regret getting pregnant. Like, and that people are like, yeah, you probably regret it. No, I really don't. I mean, I wish I would have waited, obviously, but this is the mascara I'm using. This is where it's at. I don't use any other mascara. Who's the father? Are we together? The father is obviously Jack, but some of y'all may not know that. That's my boyfriend. Yes, we're together. He is a great dad. He's gonna be a good dad. He provides for me. He makes sure I'm fed, I'm taken care of. And he's a good guy. Like, I got lucky in that department. Why Penelope? Don't know, just love the name. Drop out? No, did not drop out. What I did was I went to Mountain Ed, which is a night school, and I'm gonna stay there until I can get my credits back. If I get my credits back in time, then I'll go back to my regular high school after I have her after Christmas, and then I'll go and I'll walk with them. Or if I decide that I need to focus more on her, that she needs my attention more, and it's harder for me, then I'll stay home and finish night school and graduate with them. Either or, I'm happy. I don't care. I just need to finish my education. I know that. So I hear that from everybody, God. What was my boyfriend's reaction? Me and him had talked about getting an abortion, and on my first doctor's appointment, me, him, and my mom went, and they made us hear the heartbeat, and after that, like, we couldn't. Like, I was crying. I was like, she was moving so much too, and she was so little, and I was like, oh my god, she's so big. And I was just like, oh, that is literally my daughter. Like, I can't, why would I can't kill her. Like, I can't abort her. Like, that would have been awful. And so I was like, I did the time. I did the crime. I gotta do the time. Am I happy? I'm depressed because it's been really hard, and there's a lot in my family that y'all don't know. There's a lot of problems going on with stuff, and I'm not gonna say it because I need to keep some things personal, but I might talk about it in a later video. But there's just some things that, you know, people go through, and it's inevitable. I think I said that right. Every family has problems. Everybody's parents are different. Some parents are way stricter than others. Mine are not, thank God. Thank God mine didn't kick me out, because, you know, some people kick their kids out. How far were you when you found out? I was 5 weeks. So a month and a week. And I was so small. And I thought I was so big. I was like, oh my God, look at me, I'm pregnant. But I remember I was sitting at school, and in my regular high school, and I was getting up, running to the bathroom, puking, and people would come up to me and ask me if I was pregnant, and I was like, no, who told you that? Like, I was like, I'm keeping this a secret. Like, I'm not, this is nobody's business, and I don't have to explain anything to anybody, you know. I don't owe anybody an explanation on what I do, why I do it, or the reason behind it. This is just my preference. Like, if you know, want to abort your baby, I would definitely tell you not to, because it's changed my life. Like, I can't wait to meet her, just to know who she is. But, you know, some people are different. Some things are harder. I have it pretty good at my home. I live in a nice house. I have nice things. And I don't, you know, I was a very spoiled brat, and I've matured a lot. If you don't know me, I have matured so much since like, I don't know, after like 4 months of being pregnant, I finally realized, you know, I had to stop, and I had to grow up. No more playing around. But yeah, am I scared to give birth? Birth is, I was scared, but then my doctor and, you know, my mom and everybody talked to me, and they was like, Anna, listen, if birth was that bad, people wouldn't have 6 kids. People wouldn't have babies. You know, our bodies are made for this. Like, Mom, you hear my mama honking at me? No. I'm telling them to leave. Anyway, I'm gonna spray this, and then this is the highlight I'm using. Oh my God, I love this so much. Right here. But yes, I'm due September 20th. Yes, I know they're raiding the aliens that day. What the frick? Why would they do that? My baby's due date. You hear them honking at me? Like, I'm not. Let me just put my lipstick on. And of course I can't find my lip. Are you serious, bro? I swear if they barge in this room. And then I'm just gonna throw a little bit of this on. There's foundation on my lips. And I'm just gonna smear it, because, you know, I'm kind of grunge. Don't want it to look too cute. Anyway, that was my get ready with me and answer my questions. I'm gonna answer more if you'll have more, and I'm gonna do updates on my baby and everything. Let me give you a belly update, and then I'm gonna cut the video. This is her right now. That's my belly button ring. Take it out. But yes, thank you for asking asking questions, because I really want to do this as a career, and I need, you know, obviously I need people to, you know, want to see it. So, but yeah, I'm gonna film more, but this is just a short little video I want to upload, because I know all of y'all were confused. But September 20th, put it on your calendar.